seasoned mining executive, and according to Eric Meyer, I'm 57 years old, so I only have 3 more years doing this job, so I better ring my wife after the presentation and tell her I need to retire, according to Eric. We're giving some forward-looking statements today. We'd like to talk about this slide. Since MAG's IPO in 2003, we've got an established track record of turning forward-looking statements into facts. And as I take you through the MAG story, you're going to see, year on year, successive discoveries at our Juanicipio asset. This is MAG capital structure. We've got 86.5 million shares on issue. We've raised about $250 million Canadian dollars through equity issuances, typically at 52-week highs. Very sensitive about shareholder dilution. We've got $95 million of cash on the balance sheet. We have no debt. Our shares have traded from a high of 18 this year. We're currently trading in the low 13s. During the second half of October, the MAG share price came under significant pressure. We've had one major shareholder rebalance their portfolio, and they disposed of 6 million shares on the market in about a 2-week period, which, unlike MAG, we underperformed the sector. We don't like that. We think that period is now over from what we've seen in terms of disclosure and filings, and volumes have returned to normal on the stock. So here's a chance to buy MAG at a floor. I suggest you get in before we start to rebalance on the upside. We enjoy a lot of research coverage. You can see coverage there from primarily Canadian and US analysts. It's a good shareholder base. Our partner, Fresnillo, is our largest shareholder, but we are held by a number of blue chip specialist institutions who typically don't buy exploration companies, but for many years have seen the quality of this asset. And again, with the Eric Meyer theory, they got in early. I talked about our balance sheet. The main project we have is the Juanicipio joint venture. We're 44%. We were the discoverers of this asset in Mexico. And Fresnillo PLC, the world's largest silver producer, are the operator in what we like to call their front yard. This shows the Fresnillo tenements in the Fresnillo Silver District, and the joint venture, I think I have a pointer here, the joint venture is the purple ground in the middle, and all the action is up in that top right hand corner, which we're going to zoom in on successive slides. This is the most endowed silver district in the world now. 1 of every 10 ounces of silver on the planet came from the Fresnillo trend. Zooming in on that joint venture ground, the top right hand corner, you see the Juanicipio vein, the namesake of the joint venture tenement, where MAG came on the ground in 2003 after Fresnillo had actually given up the property in the early 90s. With a different geological theory, we IPO'd, gave some forward-looking statements to the market, came out in hole 001, the very first hole we drilled, discovered the Juanicipio vein. Hole 16 we drilled on the property, discovered the Valdecanes vein, which is where about 95% of the metals have currently been discovered on the property. The Juanicipio, the Valdecanes vein continues across the joint venture boundary and becomes the world's largest silver producing asset, the Zacatecas mine. So I'm going to show you some metrics about the Juanicipio property and the project that we've discovered. It's world class. It's the highest grade undeveloped silver property in the world, but equally importantly, it's being developed by a partner who has been mining in this area for 130 years. They've built 2 similar concentrators, process plants, on the same vein. They've been mining the same rock for 15 years. So a great project, incredible exploration potential to come, being operated by the natural operator for the property. So if we look at Valdecanes from the side now, looking into the earth in the section view, you can see here our underground development that we've put in since 2013. This is the red zone here is what we call the Bonanza Zone. The Bonanza Zone, we issued the original PEA on that in 2012. 2014, we did a drill program. We put 4 holes underneath the Bonanza Zone to sterilise the vein, because all of those red lines that you saw on that plan shot of the Fresnillo area, all of those epithermal veins are about 300 or 400 metres high, and then the mineralisation finishes. Well, we didn't do a good job sterilising this vein. We actually found the mineralisation continued. We have found the deep zone here, which we announced in 2015. Fresnillo's the operator. We're very smart. They said this could be big. If it was big, what would you do to the project? And we did some trade-off studies, and we upsized all this infrastructure from 2,700 tonnes per day to 4,000 tonnes per day. So we're now building a 4,000 tonne per day mine. We continue to drill this to understand it, and by accident, we've found 2 more veins out here, Anticipata, named by the Mexicans in anticipation of being a vein. Well, it's a vein, and it's becoming quite large. And Pre-Anticipata. Both of these contain probably somewhere between 3 to 8 million tonnes currently, and they were found by accident. There's been no targeted drill program to discover these veins. So next year, I anticipate that we're going to get into a more targeted drill campaign to understand this. These veins are 80 metres and then 100 metres away from where we'll be mining. Incredible endowment, incredible underground mining flexibility. This is probably one of the only mines in the world you're going to see. As we get deeper, the mining costs are going to go down. So this is some of the metrics. You can see here extraordinary silver grade. We don't talk equivalents at MAG. There's no smoke and mirrors. This is grams per tonne of silver. 600 grams per tonne silver. The whole ore body runs about 2 grams per tonne of gold. We've got almost 300 million ounces of silver. We've got 1.5 million ounces of gold. We've got about 1 billion pounds of lead, 2 billion pounds of zinc. We found almost 300 million pounds of copper. And quite frankly, we have only just started. We have drilled 5% of the surface area of the joint venture ground. So here we are, we're down to the mineralisation now. We've put crosscuts in, we've got rocks of Valdecanes veins sitting on the desk in the Vancouver office. We're starting to stockpile material now. First part of building an underground mine is when you get down there, being sure the mineralisation is there. We've confirmed that, a good outcome. We've now started the construction of the mill circuit, and we expect to see that continue through to the end of 2020. This just shows you a 2-dimensional image of the underground development. Over 23 kilometres of development have been done here to get this mine prepared to come into production. We've built an underground mine already. Here's Peter McGaw, Dr. Peter McGaw, the founder, giving the Valdecanes vein a kiss. We like to show this. This shows the underground access, the ramp, 5x5. I see Tim in the room here. He's a mining engineer. He probably thinks, boy, you guys are spending a lot of money here. This is done for probably half the cost of what it would take to do a 5x5 ramp in North America. Completely shotcreted, rock bolted, and with a concrete floor. A great testament to the ability of Fresnillo as the operator. This is the waste pile outside of the 2 portals. This was the first portal. We had to put a second one in when we upsized. This is the conveyor ramp. It's going to bring the crushed rock. All the rock is crushed underground. It comes out to this surface facility. That's where the conveyor belt comes out down there. Here's the process equipment starting to arrive on site. Again, Fresnillo was smart. We ordered the long lead items, all of the process equipment, 4 months before approval in December last year. And so we're in good shape now as we start to build the infrastructure of the plant to be putting these long lead items in place. And this is the plant site getting prepared now. And this will be a beautiful looking 4,000 tonne per day concentrator. Great place to build a mine. This is all flat land. There's all infrastructure from Fresnillo, the river, the river runs through it, the road runs through it, power lines, 500-year mining history in the city of Fresnillo. So lots of labour, and we're just in great shape. Now this is a video that I hope I can make work. Yeah, here we go. So we'll have a look at this. Easy to look at the pictures in 3D. Here are the portals that you saw going into the ore body, which sits down in here, and luckily it dips into the joint venture ground, which is fortunate for us because as we get deeper we get more of it because the boundaries pull away. That's the complete mineralisation of Valdecones. There's the Bonanza Zone. There's the recently discovered deep zone. This is the fluid upwelling point. That's why this is such a remarkable asset. We're sitting on the source of where the fluids came into the system. And here you can see these other structures we found by accident and the significance of them in size. There's two other footwall veins on the other side. This is the Juanicipio vein out there. And then recently in March this year, and there's more, we found north-south structures running out of the east-west structures, which are the first north-south structures found in this area in 500 years. There's a conveyor ramp coming out to the plant site. As you can see up here, it's beautiful fat land, and just some pictures of the work that we've done down there since 2003. We've mined about over 1 million tonnes of waste, and there's the plant site getting ready now, and we'll move forward. That picture's there just in case the video doesn't work. As I mentioned, we found these north-south structures now. That's going to open another explosion in the discovery of ounces because you can see here's 500 years of discovery. They all run east-west because people have only looked for east-west structures. We got indications of these north-south structures by the correlation between the vein thickness and gold. So we actually believe the golds come into these east-west systems from these north-souths. And that opens up the opportunity to start to drill a very attractive target over here. And on the Fresnillo side of this joint venture, they've found 600 million ounces of silver once they discovered how we found that. They've now indicated that a lot of these veins run across, but as I said, there's the 5% of the surface area that we've explored of the property. So we're going to build what will be the world's largest silver producer, starting up at the end of 2020 or early 2021. The resource area is getting so large, it's probably very expandable, but we're still an exploration story. There's a lot more to come from this property in the future from the drill bit. That's it, because I think I'm on time. Look at that. Well, look, I'd prefer to ask questions and talk to you. Does anyone have any questions? Claude, you've got to have a question for me, mate. Come on. All right, well, thank you very much, and have a good day.